So you thought about committing suicide?
Yes, I would travel, come, meet my husband here, who was also working from far. Now he has come. But instead of having even some peaceful moment or anything, we would just have a bad moment. We would even fight.
Inakuwaje Tongo Nguvu, mimi naitwa presenter Ali, your entertainment PA, and by the way the A is always for amazing. Siku zote natia bidii kuhakikisha kwamba nakuletea stories tofauti, and of course today I'm joined by one Jenaide Wangari, na amekuja hapa kwa ajili ya kushare story yake. It's a touching story, it's an inspiring story. Kwa hivyo nakuomba tu utulie, lakini kabla sijazungumza sana, wacha tumpatie muda ajitambulishe. How are you doing?
I'm well and I'm blessed. I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you.
Hi to our viewers. My name is Jenaide Wangari, but my stage name is Jenaide.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, Jenaide is a young Kenyan mother, a wife, a human resource practitioner, an artist, and a very intentional Kenyan who wants to make a difference and touch many lives, to impact on very many lives in this nation and beyond.
Yeah. What is your story? Many people nimewambia kwamba you have a story to share, but tell us history yako ikoje. What's your story?
When I talk about my story, I wish to first of all mention where I come from as I define this story. It's because I want to live a very purposeful life, and I want to also see others living it as so that we all become successful, or at least we make our lives here on earth worthwhile. So Jenaide was born in a village called Wanjohi in Nyandarua County. But while I was in Form 3, my mom relocated to Nairobi, and so we somehow changed our home to Nairobi. I studied in Nyandarua High School, and I just came from a humble background, very humble indeed. I can remember my mom came to Nairobi basically because she had some 2 cows, and a close relative of hers advised her that maybe milk business would do well in Nairobi, unlike in Ocha, where you see everyone has a household cow. So that's how we came to Nairobi, and so we basically came to begin from scratch. Actually, it wasn't my mom's wish that we move in with her, but I just think I have this nature in me that I just want to explore. I want to see beyond where I am, and I would keep pushing and pressing that, oh mom, just allow me to come to Nairobi when we close the school. So it happened. My first time was when I was in Form 3, and this in a way happens to be like the first page of my story, because I had never been to Nairobi before. Even if I had, maybe that's when I was just very young and I couldn't really get to know places or something. But you see, in the school that I was schooling from, that is Nyandarua High School, we had people from various towns in this country. And in a way, you could see that they were different from us, you see. The shags manenos, and I really admired that kind of life and something, even the exposure. They were a little bit knowledgeable, and I couldn't want them to know that maybe I even don't know where I'm going, or I have no idea of where I'm going. So I didn't ask anyone, like show me where I should pick a map to the destination I was going. I was coming to Thika Road. Yes, on this now closing day, the day that I want to now to come to Nairobi, because my mom, over the phone call when I was calling to ask for the bus fare, she told me, oh, and now I think you can come to Nairobi. That really made me feel nice. And so now the closing day is here. I don't want people to know that I don't know where we're living at, and yet I've been giving them all this news that now we've moved to Nairobi. And on that day, I remember the matatu that we boarded, it to drop Pale, Koja. But I didn't know it's Koja because I had never been there before. And I said to my heart, already I know that in Nairobi, if you ask people for directions, they're going to mislead you and they can even like harass you or even steal from you. So I didn't ask anyone. My colleagues, my classmates and schoolmates, they all dispersed from various directions. But I just followed this one route, which now I have come to realize it's River Road. And it's quite a distance, especially when you don't know where you're going. But I could just encourage myself. It's around noon. I have the whole day to find myself. I knew the Githurai buses. My mom had explained in a very deeper way how they are and how they like display themselves. So I had an idea. I had this picture in my mind as much as I had not been there before. And alas, when I got to a certain point, I saw that they were all Githurai buses. Okay. I felt so great because as I was walking towards that direction, I could talk to myself, oh, Jenaide, you're still in the right direction. And I could say, oh God, please don't let me down. So when I got to this bus, I even felt quite emotional. And I said, oh, so really you can communicate with God and God can guide you. This to me was kind of a miracle or a first-hand encounter with God. So I came, the first thing I got, it's a big shock on now the Nairobi home. It wasn't any better than where I came from, but at least it was in Nairobi, And my mom could tell me, okay, si nilikwambia tu bora ukikuja usicomplain. Like ilikuwa sasa ni kuanza kuhustle. Over that holiday, apart from selling my mom's milk, of which alikuwa ameshapata customers, we would cook chapos. Tunauza hapo tu kwa karibu street yetu. And then people would recognize our good chapos. They give us orders. We cook for their families. Sometimes you see now we have cows. Tunapanda juu ya the cart ya punda. We go to get the napier grass and hizi nini za mahindi kwa wala watu wameharvest mahindi zao. And so this was also abnormal in a town whereby huku watoto wamedekezwa, wako na urban setup. Yeye tunaona msichana sasa kama mimi, and I have an elder sister who tumeachana kidogo sana. Yes. So you would see us tukua tumepanda juu ya napier grass hapo juu ya punda. Na watu wengi pia walikuwa wanatushangaa, and most would even ask my mom, are these your daughters? Oh, this is great. And in a way that also inspired us. But there's one thing I didn't like to do. My mom would in the evening go to sell spinach and skuma all the way to Githurai. Tunatoka Matuko tunaishi. And this bit I didn't like. You know why? Because already in Nyandarua High School, we had so many people who were coming to Nairobi. I don't know where they were going. Maybe some were coming from the same area, Na singetaka haswa wanione mimi ninauza nini? Skuma. But my sister would do, and hiyo nilikataa tu. I would feel hapana, hiyo nasikia siwezi feel niko na ile confidence, because after that when I go to school maybe they will somehow intimidate me from this and that. So fast forward, I'm done with we get to the completion of high school. We sit for the national exams, and apparently I didn't do as expected. I even didn't do as I expected myself to do. But you see, my parents would not take me to college because we were from a very humble background. I wouldn't make it for parallel, even it was not an option at this point. The other problem was, and it was a main challenge, my elder sister had also done her KCSE before. She didn't get her desired grade. She went back to Form 3. So at this time that I'm completing my Form 4, she was also completing her Form 4, and she did so well. I just got some inner conviction that this was God's will. And I said that, okay, as much as I'm concerned, I won't go back to high school. And I felt that there's a reason as to why I got these. And I really encouraged, I did a lot of soul searching at that moment. And in a way, I got the encouragement from my inner person. At that particular time, there was a lot of things happening. It's around December, that's when the results were being released. Back home in Nyandarua, my grandmother had suffered a stroke. And my mom happened to be the person who can only go there moving so that she can take care of her. She needed personal care. So I'm left in Nairobi. My sister was at that time doing some other courses away from Nairobi. And so it was only me and my younger sister. My younger sister now is in primary school, taking care of the cows and taking care of my sister.
In Githurai.
Now in Githurai. And you can imagine you are all alone. The results are out. And now that they are out, there is somehow there is this coincidence that now we are two and I didn't do so much good. And so nobody is like really interested in, although if we speak with someone, they would say, oh, you both did us proud. But of course, I know that now it's for me to start looking for my own path to move to the next level. I thought to myself, Jenaide, you need to just step up for yourself. No one is coming to save you. Here in Nairobi, I had started getting some friends. Those acquaintances who just maybe get to meet in church here and there. And I had also started looking into things I can do since I left the high school. I had tried to join an acting group for theatre in Thika. And I had met a few people here and there. So I called one person who I felt somehow he's very intentional on things he does. And he just told me, let's meet on Sunday. So the coming Sunday I met him and I narrated to him how I'm feeling about myself. He told me of how disappointed and he had to get away, ran away from home in Mombasa, and he came to Nairobi, got employed, started selling some CDs, and then he trained himself on 3D animation and life began. At this point he was a PA to someone very great. So I felt very encouraged, and then he went a step further to give me some brochures. In these brochures, I remember there was one for Nibs, there was one for Kips, and a different one, I can't remember. I don't know how, but I fell in love with this for Nibs because it was like a book, unlike the others, they were just the pamphlets. So I went home with the Nibs brochure, and I went digesting it even as I was in the matatu coming back to Githurai, because we had met somewhere in Kariobangi South. I came and I confirmed about the location of this school. I could see they have different campuses, but the one that was quite convenient for me was the one in Ruiru. And the following Monday, I went to Nibs, and they took me through what they can offer, and we began there. They gave me the minimum amount I needed to deposit. I remember very well it was 9,500, and that was quite a big amount for me even at that time. And when I was going home, I called one of my aunts. She's a doctor. She's normally very humble. When I called her, I explained to her. I told her, so auntie, you know the results I got, and now I've been to this and that college, and I have seen that this is the best, and I only need 9,500, auntie. And if I get to the school, I'm going to work very hard, and I know if you just give me this amount, the rest God will provide. So she was very supportive. She just agreed. After that call, I received an M-Pesa. The following day, I deposited that money to the bank. I had a few shillings, maybe like 900, and they were enough to do some photocopies here and there, and even transport. And I came and I confirmed that I'm going to join this school. So now we are in January. I joined college by faith. I studied by faith. By the time I was coming to complete my college studies, I had some fee arrears. And you know what you are doing, I don't know whether they still do that, and I'm not marketing them, but they would give you a very good option. If you just go get 500 shillings, they add on to the days that you can access the school. So like in your gate pass, they would stick that things there. So that is how we started. Sometimes it would be tough. Sometimes maybe we would even exchange with my fellow course-mates. Mmoja anaingia anatuma mwingine na hiyo ID ndio anaingia nayo. But we made it. At the time I was coming to complete the college, I had some fee arrears for about 40,000. And that was still quite a huge amount for me. So this time I also thought, I really thought to myself, well, how do I do? Because you would not graduate if you don't clear the fee. Actually, you would not even appear to the list of the graduates or even those who have completed the course. And I needed it so much. By this time, I was very outgoing. I had already established where I should go for the internship, but I would not get this letter without clearing the fee. Once again, I approached one of my uncles. By there, I have very supportive extended family. I called him and asked to meet him on a Sunday evening. And I told him, Uncle, at this point, I want you to give me a loan. And this loan is to clear my school fee so that at least I can move on. I can go for internship. I've already gotten an internship. And I can't get that letter from the school unless I clear. So my uncle told me, I don't think I can loan you on school fees. So you just give me some time. I see what I can afford, and then I will talk to you. He also asked me to give him the account number for the school, so that should he get anything, he will deposit. Yeah. So I gave him. But imagine, the following Sunday, he called me again. So this time, he was like, no, he's looking me direct on the eyes. He told me, Winnie, I told you that I cannot loan you on school fees. But I have decided to clear your balance. And this one, you won't pay me back. The only way you will repay it is by hard work and discipline, personal discipline. And also, maybe to just mention something, this is the same uncle. Long time ago, when I was a small kid, maybe in class 4 or something, he told me this. Let me tell you, Wangari, never let poverty define you. Never let where you've come from define your destiny. And these are the other words that have really held very, 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 very specially in my heart. That, in Kikuyu, I don't know whether I should say it in Kikuyu because it sounds even deeper. Ndukanaleke thina ukugirie wiki undu wothe ungenda gwika. Ndukanaleke haria umite hagutume ndukaikuhura bisha yaku ri urenda guthie. Keep pushing, aim high. Usikubali your status, your past status ama mahali umetoka iku limit. And I think hiyo pia imechangia sana to getting to discover who I am and where I am. So tumemaliza hivyo. Nikiwa high school nikiwa college I would do a lot of stuff on weekends to keep supporting myself, to keep supporting my younger sister and my mom who bado alikuwa Ocha, though at some point ili get better. My grandmother akashiftiwa nao to Githurai, so akakuwa karibu. But all this time mara mingi ni on off. My grandmama amegonjeka, mamangu wako na hiyo stress etc. So nilikuwa naenda nafanya some promotional jobs. Ukimake sales, you get commission. Bila sales, we would get 400. But at least most of the weekends, I would get maybe between 800 and 2,000, which kept me going. I also started doing some emceeing jobs. Sana in our church, and events zilikuwa tu around because unaona hiyo time you can do a lot of marketing. I was still very young pia. I couldn't even know the levels I could get. So nilikuwa naifanya tu, yani nile kitu na feel I can do this, wacha nifanye, as long as it will bring in an extra coin and as long as it's part of hard work and as long as it's a good thing, wacha nifanye. Nikifanya hivyo bado nikasukumana na ile mambo ya acting, nikakuwa naenda kuperform set books. I would work with a group called UJ15. Na Hivyo kidogo kidogo after nimeclear sasa with the school, nikapata some internship mahali kunaitwa Transworld Radio. Here I would edit for them their programs. So things were flowing very fast. Mimi there's a time I would feel hata nikiketi hivi nikwambie what I'm doing, all things that I'm doing, you would feel kwani huyu ni nani? Ama like pia unaona age ni kidogo na mambo zile nakuambia, you would think kama hapana huyu ama ni wale watu tu paranoid or something. But I would really do a lot. And then there's this thing of God's favor, cause nikienda kama the Transworld Radio, they gave me an interview as a freelance journalist with them, freelance editor. I did those programs for them, and because I was a freelancer and this was kind of a ministry, most of the times when I depend to na appreciate with something little, hawange kufunga hapo like ikuwe full time thing. So this is how again I had to look for something else to do on full time. By this time bado, it is where I will date, court and marry. So come 2013 deck, I was doing the freelancing thing for Transworld. I got a job to work with Chinese as their assistant. I went there because of PR. I had done public relations, but they gave me a job as assistant HR. You know, those things can somehow marry. So with a HR above me, it's very easy to just do what it does, and I join with what I know. And I met my very good spouse. We had met in high school, but we didn't date. He was in Form 4 when I joined Form 1. So that's where we met. But let me say we were just casual friends. We started talking after I completed my high school, still as friends. But maybe at around 2012, no, that's where we started dating. In 2013, we moved in December. And in 2014, we were blessed with our firstborn. Mind you, I've already joined work in a construction field. And working in a construction field means moving from one place to the other. Because you'll do this project, once it's done, you move to another. And so basically, ours became a distant relationship, but we were okay. But unfortunately, when I got my firstborn, when we got our firstborn in 2014, 2 months later, my husband lost his job. In fact, we were young, very young. I got married at the age of 21. He was 24. And so we were learning. Actually, we were learning about life, but now we've come together to learn about it together. At this very, very demanding juncture, he has lost his job. My job wasn't so good because you see, the freelancing ilikuwa tu ina support. Wanasamanga ni transport tu wanakupatia and such. They would give me 10,000. Nayo hii assistant in construction, na unaona si ile kitu umesomea as at that time, na pia was very young. So kuna ile tu mshahara ya mtu mwenye ndio ameingia tu ile entry salary. But let me tell you, we thought it's something that would be for a month, 2 or so. But he went for about 2.5, almost 3 years without a job. In these 3 years, we went through a lot. And you see, hakuna kitu kibaya kama wakati you as the head of the family, siwa unaweza kukidhi familia. It was quite challenging, but once again in this thing, God just carried us through. But I can tell you that we really struggled at that time, not just because of the financial bit, but even this thing of, it's kind of demoralizing kabisa when a man niye ako chini, unlike a woman. Me, there are times I would feel, I wish hii job yangu we can exchange, but we would pray and wait on God. So in about 2 and some 8 months or something, he got a job. And this job that he got, nayo pia ikamtuma mbali. At this time mimi nimekaribia tunajenga Weybridge. I don't know whether you know Weybridge, iko tu mlolongo wa the river. So we were in that project, naye ametumwa mahali mbali tena Nyeri. ninge give up, were it not for God. Na si mimi tu, maybe pia yeye, he would have given up because kumekuwa na issues after issues after issues. In 2017, I got this very lucrative job in Thwake Dam, and by then, now I'm a mother of 3. My twins are very young, but I could not go with them to Makueni. So I had to have someone trustworthy back home as I work there. Maybe I just come on weekends or sometimes when I get a chance. My marriage somehow seemed not to work at all. I felt at this point all the efforts I've done in life were worthless. Were it that things were working so well, I would have not chosen to go that far at the expense of having my kids back home. But it really demanded, because things had just turned haywire. I would travel, come, meet my husband here, who was also working from far. Now he has come. But instead of having even some peaceful moment or anything, we would just have a bad moment. We would even fight. And I remember one morning, there's a river called Kaiti in Makueni. It was just a walking distance to my office at that time. I just looked at the water. I thought about all that I was going through. And I looked at the onlookers. I was like, no, is it that even these people are here because of the same problems that I have? Maybe others are seeing a crowd coming to see what the waters are doing, but maybe someone is feeling like I'm feeling. Like if I can come here when there is no one, I can just have this water cut my whole painful story short. But at that time I thought, wow, but my kids.
So you thought about committing suicide?
Yes. But we would not change anything. I would even ask God. You see, I got married at a tender age because I felt that after college, the other thing should be to settle in marriage, have a good life, a family life, then chase goals. This was what I really thought should be. On this second day, when I was now coming from work, I thought the water had gone down, and I thought, wow, I thank God that I didn't pursue that thought. Now that tumekuwa miaka zimepita na vitu kama hizo, I've come to realize hata yeye alikuwa na feel akona the same pressure. Na I think at this point ndio marriages mingi huwa zina break, because hutaki kujua what your partner is going through. Wewe unaona tu the pain you have, the anguish, maybe unaona ni ana kutake through, but kumbe pia yeye labda yake akikupatia it's more weightier than what you have. And so then the next question became, what is my purpose? Let me tell you, those past few years between 2019 and 2021, I can say they've been my greatest years of life, because the pains continue to be there, the challenges would still continue to be there, but I changed. Mimi ndio nilibadilika. My perspective towards facing them, towards solving them, ikabadilika too, because it revolve around I just need to know who is Jenaide, what is my purpose, and live it, nothing more. Nikaanza kutaking initiative tukiwa bado katika kazi, na befriend watu, I get to know your story, na get kujua kama kuna vitu zinakusumbua na ku-encourage. In the long run, nikajikuta pia hata sasa watu wanaenda wakispread the word, and people come to me for assistance, others come to me for counseling, wengine ni mashida, tunasaidia huyu mtu, kama ni fee tunalipia mtoto wake.
So basically through what you went through, you've been able to now impact people's lives positively.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the event that is coming, in September. In October. Tell us a little bit about it and what does it entail?
Okay. This event, it's like a rubber stamp of what I've just said. The event, I'm calling it Mission and Music Lounge. Mission is for what now I intend to do through my God-given abilities and what I have learned in line with purpose. I want to impact lives because a lot will be shared in there. I'm encouraging everyone who is listening at me to purpose to come. There will be no entry fee. It will be free, and we shall be having very great personalities speaking. We shall have, because of music, by the way, I also do music. I also do music. I am a gospel artist, which I still started doing out of what I've gone through, and I realized that kumbe God had this call for me all along. So I'm twinning it. I'm doing it at a twin lounge. We shall have great artists. I'm even planning to host Christina Shusho, all the way from TZ, and I have other artists from here, local, and who are doing very well in the industry, and especially those that I feel that they are serving a call. Those that I feel that beyond music, they are changing lives and they are impacting positively impacting on lives. It will be such a great moment.
Itakuwa wapi?
Itakuwa Verona. Verona ni hapa Spamol. Itakuwa it will be in Spamol, 5th floor. Spamol is located along Thika Road. Ukifika tu ni exit 12, unaingia and you'll find us there. It will be a very great day. Na wish kukaribisha kila mtu because I know it will impact on people's lives.
Amazing sana. Kwa hivyo kama you feel like pengine you're going through something, pengine you need a bigger purpose in life, you need encouragement, ama pia unataka kupatana na Jenaide ambayo umesikia story yake, tarehe ni 8 mwezi ni wa 10 hapa Spamol, iko along Thika Road. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for also being courageous enough to share your story, because normally many people are not even courageous to share the story. Thank you also for impacting positively on lives of people. We rarely have such people in the world. So zungumza na mtu ambaye anakutazama sasa hivi. What are your last sentences?
Okay, to you my viewer, thank you so much for even viewing us. I would wish to tell you that everyone in this life has been created for a purpose, and you are alive today to intentionally make it count. Don't just exist because you woke up. Make this day count. Live your purpose. Forgive easily. Let the past go. Aim higher and believe in you. Trust in God. Thank you so much. I hope to see you on that day, and you'll get to know how we can interact more and get to know each other as we meet at the top. Down here it's crowded. Thank you.
Amazing sana. Details za event ziko kwenye screen yako. There is a poster ambayo imekuwa iki pop up each and every time when we are having this conversation. So make sure you reach out if you wanna come. The entrance is absolutely free. Thank you so much once more for your time. Mimi naitwa presenter Ali, your entertainment PA. The A is always for amazing. Behind the camera we have Frank, the director, and we will see you guys in the next video.